Hey you there, do you want a custom status bar message which changes colors depending on the situation? Stick around and find out how. Hey guys, it's CovertCode here, and this is going to be a quick tutorial on how you can make a status bar. So let's get straight to it. The first thing you need to do is make sure you can see the Explorer. If you can't see it, just go to View, Explorer. Click on the starter GUI, which is where all of the players to the objects are stored, okay? And click on this and double click on Screen GUI from the Insert Objects tab. Rename this to start. Actually, let's just rename this status bar. And make sure you tick off Reset on Spawn. So now we're just going to have a local script, and we're going to call this the controller. Now, the first thing we need to do before actually scripting is creating a text button, okay? I mean a text label. So it's just text, really, it's nothing special. Make sure you set the background transparency to 1, text scaled, change this to whatever font you like, and whatever color you like by clicking on this color here. So let's just make it nice and red, and give it a nice text stroke transparency of like 0.6. Actually 0.8 might do, yeah, 0.8 is better in my opinion. So let's call this bar. Okay, we're just going to click on this right here and drag it out to whatever size you want, and just drag it to the top. Make sure the line's in the center like this, and you can just drag it over there. There you go. So let's remove the text. There we go. Now we're going to go back to controller, and we're going to store this object inside a variable. So local bar equals GUI dot bar. And we haven't obviously defined the GUI, so local GUI equals script.parent. So this is the script and this is its parent, okay? So what we're saying here is script.parent.bar, okay? And the bar is a text. So how are we going to make it change to whatever we want? So let's create a value inside of replicated storage here. So click on this, insert a string value, call this status. Now you need to click on server script service and insert a script. Call this modifier. So local status equals game.replicated storage.status. So this is basically linking this to this now. Okay. So I'll just give it a use case. I'm gonna use a for loop. If you don't know what a for loop is or how to use it, I suggest checking out my video on loops. So just for I is equal to 20 to 1 minus 1 do. So this is going to count down from 20 to 1 at minus 1 increments, okay? So it's going to go 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, etc. until it gets to 1, okay? We're going to wait 1 second in between each interval, okay? Now we're going to modify the status value to I'm showing you guys how to make an intermission. You can use this for any sort of application you can think of. So intermission ends in I. So this is going to say intermission ends in 20, 19, 18 until it finally ends. Okay. So this is going to modify this thing's value here, but this is not going to do anything unless we perceive the changes on our client. So we also want to declare local status equals game.replicated storage.status. Yeah, so this is now also linked to this. So status.changed connect function value. So now whenever this value changes, we are going to know. So basically whenever this status changes, because this modifier script said it should change, then this script will change this text table. Let me just rephrase this. This is going to send a signal to this to change, and this is then going to send a signal to this controller to change the text. It may be a bit complex, but it's quite easy once you understand. So bar.text is equal to value. So this just changes the text table here to whatever the value is. So we're gonna click play, and there you go. Now you've got a status bar. We could also make this show different types of messages. So let's say you wanted to show game is starting, for example. So status.value equals game is starting. We're gonna click play, and it's gonna go down. By the way, it's not starting from 20 because there's a few seconds delay from when you actually play to when your character spawns. Okay, so now it's gonna say game is starting. Okay, so now let's say you wanted to make it fancier for some reason. I get you, and I'll help you. So let's make a gradient object inside of the text. So call this gradient, rotation 90 degrees, color, click on these three dots here, quite important, and let's make it just a tad darker, like this. There you go. And now it's a bit fancier, not that noticeable, but it's certainly could impress your friends. Okay, if that's your goal. Another thing you could do with the status bar is have it change color depending on the status message. So we're going to insert a color tree value inside of the status value here. Call this color. Now we're going to go here. I'll explain what I'm doing here in a second. So status.color.value bar.text color equals. So whenever this changes, we're going to also send a message to change the color depending on what we want. Okay, so this is also going to change the text depending on this value. I'll show you. So we want the color to be status.color.value. So we're going to status.color. That's what we're modifying. Okay, status.color.value equals color tree dot from RGB. So what this means is basically choose a random value from this here, this huge array of colors here. I'll stick with red. So remember these numbers here: 255, 57, 57. So 255, 57, 57. If I want the color to change after the intermission ends, we could obviously just go back here and choose a random color. I'll go with this color here, 255, 2550. 2550, and this should work, hopefully. So basically the server script is sending me a message to this value here to change the color. Okay, it's the same principle with the status message, but we're doing it to the color value. Okay, so that's literally all that's changing. Whenever this is going to end, notice that this is going to change. As you can see, now you have custom colors and a custom message for your status bar. By the way, guys, because there's a bit of confusion, there's always a place link at the bottom in the description of my videos. Okay, so basically you just click this link, and it'll take you to an open source place where you can access the code, modify it, use it for your own purposes, whatever you need. Okay, so just remember there's always a link with the code. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be making more tutorials now. See you around. Thanks for watching again.